I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. In this video, we're going to have a look at the crypto market of today. Bitcoin just taking a brief downward trend as of the last 2 hours, basically, moving from about 44k back to 42.4k-ish, but seems to be having a small rebound. However, don't be stressed. The fear and greed index was already in the fear segment. Not specifically because Bitcoin was moving down, because it wasn't, right? It's still quite stable for the last 7 days. As you can see, the last measurement was taken about right here. What happens is it has been a little bit too stable, right? The last time we saw that stability build up, which was right here, which is about 2.5 days, which is about what it's occurring right here, we saw a huge drop off. So are people expecting that this would happen again? Who knows? Definitely not a good sign on the fear and greed index, because again, just like yesterday, it's basically in a space where we don't really have an opportunity. We don't really have a huge problem yet. We just need to wait it out, right? So on the 1 month chart, everything is looking just fine. On the 7-day chart, we do have that big pump right here. And on the 1-day chart, we have a small decline, right? Other than that, when we look at Ethereum, it's basically the exact same overview. Everything does still move in line with Bitcoin, and therefore the Bitcoin dominance, which is currently 43.1%, is still significantly relevant overall. Let's have a look at the launchpads first. On the actual launchpads, we see a steady decline. So the gains that were accumulated across the last 7 days are significantly being reduced at the moment. We can see CDFI back to the 550, 560 range, making it definitely an interesting position right now. Moving down about 5%, Superfarm moving down 8%. So when we look at Superfarm, not actually as a launchpad, but more about the imposter's opportunity coming up, it was at about 58 cents, that low entry, and it might become an interesting opportunity for the imposter's launch if you want to use Superfarm instead of Ethereum, sitting at around 70 cents right now. When we go down, we see that the Bluezilla launchpads that were pumping yesterday are now again in the minus, right? They were unable to maintain that momentum. Other than that, no significant gainers apart from the one. We got Nearpad gaining about 15%, 38% this week, so that is quite significant. Other than that, again, there is a lot of red. Meta VPad basically 16% down today, so definitely on the all-time chart, although the launch was obviously ridiculous, has only seen a linear downward trend ever since, with some very minor pumps in between, basically losing about 90% of its value since launch. Still, of course, holding at about 100x, I believe, but regarding IDO, still on the current point of view, not performing so well. Anypad seeing a small pump, that is because of a good reason, so let's have a good look. Because the Anypad new website is live, which you can see right here. So it's basically still the same team, the same Anypad that you know, so do not expect any major improvements on that part. However, savage, Colin, yeah, savage. I'm just saying. When we look at the Launchpad, for example, when you go to the Launchpad, they still bring you to the old website. So it's just the front end that has been changed. But now you have staking that has become enabled. How the staking works, I will show you in a video tomorrow. So obviously small pump on the Anypad, because now you can earn attractive APY on your tokens for staking it. Is there a significant pump? Definitely not. So on the announcement, there was some pump, but it was like a sell-off immediate as well. And there has been a slowly downward linear trend ever since. That's everything for Anypad. Future Peak trying to recoup some of its major losses that it made after the launch. And any of the other smaller launch pads, there's like there are some gainers, right? But it's definitely not as significant. And that's obviously, when I mentioned this yesterday, problematic in terms of the pattern that, or the influence really, that Bitcoin has over this market. So when we are not in greed, when we are either in fear or neutral, the launch pads just don't perform well. This is definitely an investment for the next bull run, right? Where these launch pads are basically, nobody's able to afford them because they're so expensive. And that's what happens with these bull cycles, right? Specifically now gaming, metaverse is being more attractive. The IDO game is very hot. On the next bull run, these tokens might shoot up 5-10x in value. And then obviously your allocation, if you at that point want to participate, is really small. Let's have a look at the gaming tokens, because to be fair, it's not much better. Still 7-day average into the green. And that's all basically because of this Bitcoin pump, right? This pump also significantly pumped the gaming tokens. I'll show you, right? Bang, right here. Quite a significant pump. For even for Decentraland, it wasn't even that significant, right? But let's have a look at Gala, right? Yeah, so basically from 22 cents to 28 cents, that's quite a significant pump, definitely. And then holding quite well at 25 cents. But again, today they are losing value, but across the 7-day average, they're still holding up decent. Not amazing, of course, but decent. They're trying, at least. Do we see any of the games? So Krabata, just over $1. Do we see anything else? So Baby Swap is making some gains. I don't even know what kind of platform that is. Starterra, very minor gains. And all the other bigger projects, basically, what do we have? -5, -6, -7-ish, 5-ish, Ultra +1. So that's been gaining quite steadily. So that's quite good. Coming from about $1.10, right? Yeah, $1.14. So that has been doing, oh well, $1, right? So that has been doing quite well. That would have been one of the best bets, specifically in the recovery runs that it has made. Every time it sinks low, it pushes up really high. You can get this on KuCoin, Gate, Uniswap. Probably KuCoin your best bet. Definitely an interesting one to watch. I mentioned this before, but on the dumps, it seems to recover extremely well. It's not really like, of course, it's not like a game itself. It's more of a like infrastructure for gaming, for the entire gaming space, but definitely interesting to keep an eye out for when we look at these crypto gaming projects, right, in general. There was another opportunity that I wanted to specifically show you today. I did cover it on the YouTube channel this morning, but basically Unix token released its epoch, which basically means it released its staking, right? So it's a monthly occurrence, and basically the price dropped. And you can see the volume just went up like crazy, right? So the volume increased like almost 300%, about 231%. Right now. So that's definitely a major opportunity for people that missed out on Unix when I called them out. Basically right here when I did the shout out that I was making an entry and then it pumped. Right now you have the opportunity again. I made a separate video on Unix, the staking, the Launchpad. I have uploaded this earlier today, so you can check out the channel if you haven't seen it already. It basically goes over how much I've earned with the staking and why I'm staking it and how much, how that all works, what is important to know. Let's have a look at Firestarter. Still not doing that much, right? Still not doing that much. It did see quite a significant pump from 29 all the way until 35, but then again a rapid decline, and that's usually the problem. The pumps don't really count unless you can catch the pump, right? So basically you sell the pump. You buy on the dump right here. Let's say you bought at about 29 cents. If you're not able to sell at 35 cents, then yes, now it's at 31. It's better than 29, but still you missed that big opportunity. And this happened basically in the span of like 4 hours. And this is basically for my time, like 11 p.m. until 3 a.m., obviously I wouldn't have been able to trade this unless obviously you're putting your orders on KuCoin, that is, right? So definitely, if you're interested in making those entries, keep an eye out. Let's do our regular circle. What we have, Magicraft not doing anything, right? Small upward trend, but that's basically because of the market pattern. They did announce their NFTs coming at the end of this month. So when that's time, I will cover it. Let's have a look at SolChicks, just for jokes, 2 cents. Obviously, it's not doing anything, right? Barely any movement whatsoever. The last vesting is coming up in about a week and a half. And after that, basically the project, I don't care what it does. Monkey League up next, 43 cents. So that has seen a significant recovery, right? As you can definitely see on the chart. So this was in about the 17th. So they definitely have been building up more momentum since the last time we covered it. There was a steady decline. However, it is showing a linear upward trend. There's definitely some potential here since the rebrand, since all the things they have done, because it was called Monkey Ball before, now it's Monkey League. They're going to start with this football game, and then they're going to expand it more and more and more, which appears that the users like more than just calling it Monkey Ball, right? Which makes sense. Let's move to FN. 21 cents, a steady decline, right? So from basically $1, this is basically where we see the bearish market. Got to take into consideration the daily vesting, right? The linear vesting that occurs every day. You can claim every day. It's on the Polygon chain, so there's almost no fees. There's no reason for smaller investors not to dump because they are fearful. I am not dumping. I'm just holding my tokens because I am really bullish on FN in the long term. But definitely sad to see how this is going. Then let's have a look at CryoWar. The staking has become active. I do have a video coming out on that very soon, how that works, why I'm staking, which pool I'm staking, and what I'm looking to gain from this. One of my favorite projects, CryoWar. Definitely a good pump on the announcement of the staking, and then a small downward trend, of course, in line with the market pattern. About $1 million daily volume, a little bit less than what we used to seeing, but definitely a lot of trade volume on Gate.io, which is surprising because I thought KuCoin would be the biggest one, and that's where I had my tokens, but obviously I have them staked now. So that's definitely a big opportunity for CryoWar. The staking, Anypad, the staking, more and more of these projects are going to introduce this. And when I say staking, Unix, single asset, CryoWar, single asset, Anypad, single asset. I don't do liquidity pools. I'm not confident enough in that impermanent loss situation, right? So the single asset is fine. I think any APY we would gain instead of just holding the tokens is more money to be made than what we had before. If we're going to hold the tokens anyway, that is definitely something to consider, right? I did see a tweet, so let's head over to Twitter, from Iotexpad coming by. So let's have a look at Iotexpad and see. They have updated some information. They got a tracker. They updated their tier system, I believe. So March 1st, we have listened, and they have updated the tier structure. Recently, Iotex had improved its tier to ensure better entries for users, giving a fair chance for everyone to participate. After careful research, the best approach IDOs were to be granted, guaranteed all users. Okay. So you have 40,000 tokens, 120. So they have different pool weights, but everything is guaranteed. Yes. So everything has guaranteed allocation. I think that's quite interesting. Definitely quite interesting. You need to hold 500 tokens to be able to participate, and a maximum of 40,000. Staking requirement, 4 hours before allocation. It's all 4 hours. So basically it's quite simple. All the rules are the same for everybody. The only difference is the staking amount. One thing would be I would be interested in and what I would like to know when Iotexpad actually launches. So the date, I'm not sure if it has been confirmed yet. I don't think so. We're still waiting when the IDO is going to happen. All right, 10th of March. So basically 1 week from now. So that's good to know. In that situation, we are basically looking at equal rights for everybody. The only thing you need to be aware of is to buy as many tokens as possible if you want to participate here. Duly note is I would like to know the APY for the staking, if they are going to offer APY at all, because that is not listed. I am, however, quite bullish on Iotexpad. I've made videos on it before because the Iotex blockchain is obviously on number 96 and it will add a lot of value to their ecosystem. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on moving forward. And that's basically all the crypto news of today in a small little summary. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.